Hi guys, I'm back. This video is just a little talk between you and I. I'd love to hear your opinions on this matter in the comment section. Please do comment, and while you're at it, like and subscribe. Let's jump right into it though. Do you guys think that Genshin is adding too many characters too fast in the game? I just wanted to look at a little pros and cons list into the matter. You know, we like to look at both sides of the coin here on my channel, and then you pick which side you feel stronger on. Obviously, no right and wrong answers, just opinions. I'll start off with a little intro on how the system works for the new characters to join the game. So Genshin releases a new major version roughly every 6 weeks, and each version introduces a new region, storylines, and characters. There is at least one 5-star character, all of whom are part of the expansion regions, and a couple of 4 stars. That means like every 1.5 months a 5-star character is released with some 4 stars. So far, since the game has started in 2020, we have 97 playable characters roughly. Keep in mind, it's still growing. It has roughly over 64 stars and over 45 stars last documented. And likely even more, because sometimes I take long breaks from Genshin, and when I'm back, there's so much new people. I think currently we're on version 6.2. And hopefully by the time I've uploaded this video, we haven't gone too far from it. Now here's the pros of the situation. Obviously exciting new characters. The Genshin community loves a new character launch. They get hyped all the time for it. And there are some strong fans because before the character is even released, they are waiting for it, and they have already developed a fandom for them. We also get to collect and learn about some new characters to add to our gameplay and archive. So we have a wider selection of characters to choose from and build, and that goes well for players who are heavily focused on builds and which characters work with which team, and how they can improve the gameplay in general. Typically that is for some solid players, right? I'm more of a cozy dabbling player. I try my best at builds, but I'm yet to figure that out properly. So when new characters do release, I'm looking at their play styles, if it matches my style, and how that fits into my main team or my sub team, their personality and their design. Another pro is that with new characters, there tend to be new storylines and lores, and obviously that's a big plus because Genshin at the time did have an issue giving players something to do in the game. Players would play so hardcore that they could run through everything in the game and main storylines and even side quests that there wasn't anything left to do. So people tend to drop the game until a new patch came back. So I'm assuming the push of new characters so often is to counteract that issue. New characters tend to change up the gameplay in general, which is refreshing because the game has been out for over 4 years now. With Natsland, we got introduced to Kanish, who swings about the place, Malvika, who has a bike, I believe. I think that is the first ever bike in Genshin. We even got a character who runs up on mountains, making climbing easier. Now because of these new characters, it was a nice introduction to the new gameplay. It just makes sense. With so much characters in the game, it makes it easier for players to do Spiral Abyss and any other challenges like it, especially since most of these challenges involve a rotation of more than 1 or 2 teams. You get to build a team that's completely different from the first, and you get to experience more than one type of character playing style in the same challenge. Another pro is obviously with new characters, there's whales who purchase wishes to get the characters they want, and then there's us. You know, we throw in our few cents once in a while to get the character as well, and then there's the free-to-play players who is grinding real hard, and because of the whale support, Genshin is successful and is able to keep giving us content. It's reasonable. They're a company, they're working hard to give us a little something, so it's nice to support back. But with this as well, there is a dark side to it, which then brings us into the cons. People tend to lose some money, whether it's due to them not getting the character they want, or them having a gambling addiction, or them just not knowing when to stop pulling. I've played some other, let's say, gacha games, kinda, like COD. Obviously, it's not really like a gacha game, but you get what I mean, the pulling system there. And when it comes to the pulling for something you want, like the skin, or I think like you get weapons with that too, the system is totally different from Genshin, and I have to say that the gacha system in Genshin is much better better than most games out there, but I have seen some crazy stories where some people don't have much self-control and they risk their rent money or break their promises to their wives that they won't spend huge amounts of money on the game again, and obviously at that point it's an addiction. And those people need to take a step back from the game until they have better control. Also, another con is that characters bonding feels rushed. I like to play the game by enjoying each moment that I can with every character that's involved in whatever story or side quest or bonding experience that I'm doing. Now, with so much people in the story and so much new characters joining each time, it feels like I don't have enough time to spend with all and enough time to understand all, or to get to know their personalities, or even spend much time in the game with them when they've joined a story, like when the first few characters were in the game. It almost feels as if in every few months a handful of characters are added that has a new hype, but I was just catching up with the previous characters. Which then brings us into the other con, where character reruns take longer. This then makes it hard for us to see an old character pop back up in the main story or even on the banners, so almost as if most characters are missing during big events. Shenhe was a big one at a time that was missing, and some past characters didn't even have a rerun for 2 years, like Yao Mia. This then forces the players to either spend for Primer to get that character on the banner when it's out, if you can't grind for it, because you don't know if it'll take another 2 years for that character to come again for you to pull. Also, if you're the type of player who takes a break from Genshin and then come back in later, it's a bit difficult to catch up with these new characters unless you plan to grind for a while. It's a bit overwhelming. Another issue is that there is a limited amount of resources like Mora and EXP books, which makes it difficult to build and maintain a large roster, along with the ability to get good artifacts for all of these characters that you have. I tend to struggle with that specific part, I'm not gonna lie. Overall, I do know there is a number of people who prefer it this way, because that's kinda all gacha games. And if you're a frequent gacha player, then it's normal to you. But if you're not, then it might be a bit overwhelming. Okay guys, you tell me what you're thinking on this topic and share your opinions as well. It's just a little chat between you and I. There's no right or wrong side. If there is any other pros or cons I missed, do inform me, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!